Not much is known about the life of Lulu White, and Lulu wanted it that way. She earned infamy as one of New Orleans' most successful madams during the Storyville era, using racial ambiguity to run a successful brothel for wealthy white men, which challenged social norms and Jim Crow's racial boundaries. Known as the Diamond Queen of the Demi-Monde due to her love of diamonds and all things opulent, she mocked the media's ridicule of her with satire, blurring the lines between pride and mockery. White's defiance exposed the fluid nature of race and sexuality, making her both a symbol of rebellion and a threat to white supremacy. Born in the 1860s near Selma, Alabama, White was the daughter of a white father and a black mother. Her early life is unclear due to lost census records, but by the 1900 census, she claimed to be from Jamaica. She moved to New Orleans in the late 1800s, starting out as a boarding house keeper and a sex worker before becoming a madam. White embraced what was known as the tragic octoroon trope, presenting herself as a fallen heiress from a wealthy white family, which helped fuel her success. Was this a lie? Probably. But White knew that there was no virtue in being moral in an immoral world that was stacked against her. In the 1880s and 1890s, White posed for explicit photographs that explore taboo themes like and interracial Shreks. These images subverted racial and sexual norms, showcasing her agency and defying stereotypes about women of color. Her ambitious racial identity became a tool for negotiating power and desire, challenging both bourgeoisie respectability and aristocratic decadence. When Storyville was established in 1897, White purchased land to build Mahogany Hall, her luxurious brothel. The opulent establishment featured modern amenities like marble decor, indoor plumbing, and an elevator, standing in stark contrast to the South's typical infrastructure. White marketed Mahogany Hall aggressively, eroticizing her identity and promoting herself as educated and sophisticated, while cleverly advertising the women who worked at Mahogany Hall. Mitty Cook. Miss White's house would be incomplete without Mitty Cook. She's everything that one desires: charming, pretty, sweet. There are lots of pebbles on the beach, but there is only one Mitty Cook. She is a native of Alabama and a girl to be proud of. Call and see her. White's involvement in New Orleans' underworld helped establish her reputation. She faced legal challenges, including charges of tax evasion related to alcohol sales at her brothel. Though exonerated in some cases, she was convicted in others. Despite these issues, Mahogany Hall thrived, especially in the winter months. White also testified in a high-profile case involving police corruption and racial tensions in Storyville. In 1909, White was accused of harboring a minor, Marie Gaudet, at Mahogany Hall, raising questions of trafficking. Despite contradictory testimonies, the case sparked further controversy. White had previously shot at her former lover, George Lambert, in 1904, an incident that reflected the racial prejudices of the time. By the 1920s, White's health and wealth began to decline. Legal issues and financial struggles marked her later years, and she died in poverty in 1931. Her death signaled the end of an era for Storyville, which had been shut down in 1917.
Law stepped in and called it sin to have a little fun. The police car has made us stop, and Storyville is done.
White's legacy remains complex, reflecting her role as both a product and manipulator of race, power, and sexuality in early 20th century New Orleans. Lulu's life and persona inspired many, including Mae West's character in The Belle of the 90s and the Madam in the movie Pretty Baby.
Oh, he was her man, but he came to see me sometime.
Delighted. I have heard so much about you.
Yeah, but you can't prove it.
In fact, she became the blueprint for the wealthy, rough-around-the-edges brothel madam archetype seen in most portrayals today. Her influence on popular culture is undeniable, and her story remains iconic. She is featured in the new musical House of Fallen Women, which explores the lives of women in history like Lulu, whose reputations have been either tarnished or forgotten due to their defying social norms. Her song Diamonds is sung to the wife of one of her wealthy clients, who comes to confront and judge her for her lifestyle. As she did in life, in the song Lulu uses satire and wit to put the wife in her place by highlighting society's double standard of condemning S-workers while exalting financially dependent traditional wives.
I'm sorry you think more of your diamonds than you do of your soul.
I'm sorry you think more of my soul than you do of my diamonds.
Both you and I do